and welcome back to my channel. In today's video you have my weekly vlog that is not taking place in New York. I don't know if the ambient noise will come up on the recording or not, but just in case it does, my family is watching a movie downstairs. So I'm here. Obviously this is not my normal background. I'm at the beach. If I remember, I'll link to last year's Christmas week vlog where we were at the beach, filmed in some of the same locations. I think I brought the little tree that we have and put it back on that shelf. I'm not gonna go to that length for the few days that I'm here. Again, it's gonna be a short vlog. I'm trying to think about the day. So today's Wednesday. I think it'll probably just be a Wednesday to Sunday vlog. And yes, Sunday is Christmas. I'll be wrapping it up on that day. My family's actually not going to celebrate on Christmas Day. We're going to celebrate a little bit later, although I don't know what I'm celebrating with my dad. So there might be a little bit of that in there. Who knows? So I'm here at the beach and I brought some stuff with me. I actually packed it up before I went to New York. So this morning, when you saw the closing clip back at my house, I had everything packed and ready to go and I could just bring it down here, which was nice. So on the way down, I listened to Cursed by Marissa Meyer, and I'll go ahead and update about that now. It feels really long. So I remember people talking about thinking that it was too long, that things were just dragging out, but they were saying that about the first book. I didn't notice that in the first book, but reading them in closer succession than publication time frame really drives home the fact that it's just drawn out so much, and I just think that some things could be tweaked with the story and it could have been one book, and I think it would have been better as one book. It's not that I'm not enjoying this book. Probably it'll get a high 3.5 stars. Maybe it might squeak out of 4 stars when I put it through Cawpile. I don't know. But it just, so much is happening and happening, and I keep thinking, oh, I must be almost done, maybe? And I'm only like 60% of the way through. So there's that. I may or may not finish that tomorrow, depending on what I work on tomorrow. I probably will finish that tomorrow. And then, physically, I finally finished Thistlefoot. Interestingly enough, I was going through and requesting some more ARCs on NetGalley a week or so ago, and I saw that this one was on there. I'm like, I haven't been able to get it yet, so let me request it. And then my hold came through at the library, and a couple days ago, I got approved for the NetGalley e-ARC. Okay, well, at least I can maybe bump up my percentage because I'll have a review to write about this one. At first, when I started reading it, I thought, I really like this. I might be inclined to purchase this book. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to purchase this book. If I had gotten it, I think it was in the October box for a book of the month, I would have held on to it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to purchase it. There were certain things in here that just got weirder than I wanted, and that seems to be the theme of the fantasy that I'm reading, the adult fantasy that I'm reading in this end. Things are just slightly weird. I liked how it told the story with the different narrators, with the siblings, with how the whole mythology unfurled, unraveled, and how it set it up in a world that's basically our world, but just, you know, if houses could become sentient or roads could develop gills and things like that. I think it's really well written. The actual prose itself, Jenna Rose Nethercott does an excellent job with that. It just, my enjoyment level is a little bit lower, which would keep me from purchasing it. It also took a lot longer to read than I expected, and I think there were sections in here that probably could have been trimmed down. This probably could have been better at like 375 and not 430. I know that seems specific, but it felt like it dragged just a little bit too much. Not too much, but just a little bit. That leaves the stuff for the rest of the week. Now, just off frame, I brought With a Revore with me. I'm not sure what was going through my head that made me think that I could even get to that in the 2.5 days that I have here. Not sure what I was thinking. The other books that I brought with me are the last 2 books on the adult fantasy list. If I read one of these tomorrow and one of these Friday, I'll finish the adult list, which means I will have finished 2 of my 3 lists, and I'll just need to make my way through the Keeper of the Lost City series to finish that one. I'm actually really motivated. I didn't know if I could do it, but I think I'll be able to do it. And then I also brought with me my book in Spanish that I need to get caught up for the days that I was in New York. I had been reading it every day, but I'm like, I'm not going to bring this book with me. I wanted to save room for, you know, my book haul and etc. And then I also brought The Arcanum Unbounded, and I just realized I don't have another bookmark for this one, so I'll just have to remember. I'm going to look through and I'm going to see what else I need to read. I think I also, and I forgot to bring it up, I think I did bring the Dawn Shard, which you would need to read before Rhythm of War. So I have that one to read. I have White Sand, not the whole thing of White Sand. Still reminds me of that pre-order that I made months ago. No idea when that's going to come. It's not the whole thing, but it's a section of it. So there's that I need to read. Then there's Shadows for the Silence in the Forests of Hell. It's another system in the Cosmere, but I'm not sure what it has anything to do with. Okay, so White Sand, there is some text that goes along with it. I'll have to look into that. So there's White Sand, there's the one for the Threnodite system, there's and then there's Sixth of the Dust. So those are the only 3 things left, because the last thing in Arcanum Unbounded is Edge Dancer, and I've read that separately. So Dawn Shard does not appear to be in here. I don't know if I'll get to this one. This is an if I finish all of my other books for the Goodreads Choice Awards sort of read. I'll get to this and Dawn Shard, and I doubt that I'll get to Rhythm of War, but we shall see. Okay, so maybe I'll eventually find another angle while I'm here. This is only gonna be another full day, but finished another book. I had hoped to be finished earlier today, and I realized, because I'm not wearing my watch, that I had been on the same page for who knows how long. And I would go, like, my eyes would go over to the left side of the page and start to read and be like, nope, I've already read that, and go on to try to find my spot, only to, next thing I realized, be on the same page. I don't know how long that lasted, but I had about 120 pages left by the time that came around. It's interesting that it took me this long after reading the first 2 books in the series to get to this, because I read The Last Graduate and A Deadly Education, wrong order, but I read those Thanksgiving break, and it's now Christmas break. You know, Christmas is in like 2 days, 3 days, 3 days. I wanted to get to this a lot sooner when I finished The Last Graduate, but then I didn't. And sort of my desire to get to it sort of waned off. And then I read this, and did I have any compelling desire to keep reading it? No. This book, it felt really aimless. Like, one thing that A Deadly Education and The Last Graduate had going for it was it had this deadline hanging over everybody, this ultimate timing of things, this countdown sort of idea. This book didn't have it. They get out of the Scholomance, and there's a little bit of tension right at the beginning because of what Orion does at the end of The Last Graduate, and she's desperate to try to save him, basically. But then it gets sort of like, and the plot just sort of, she's like, what do I do now? And she's kind of hopping from place to place to try to figure things out. And then eventually she starts to have a plan, a goal for things, and get to a place, but it just felt really aimless, and the plot suffered because of it. And one thing I've realized about Novik's books is there will be parts of the plot that are crucial to understanding how the magic works or how the plot is being moved forward. And you get those revealed sort of in ways that are like, oh yeah, now you knew, or now you know, or something like that. And then you're like, wait, what do I know? And there's something that's supposed to have been understood by the time you get to that point that's supposed to have been revealed, but it never comes out and is revealed clearly until way after the fact. That was one of the things about what was happening in here and who was actually at fault for it, and that whole prophecy about Elle that, you know, had been hanging over her head this whole time. When that happened, I went, what? How is that happening? I had to go back a few pages, and I must have, as I was reading, missed a word here or there or skimmed over it in such a way that it didn't sort of sink in. And once I did, I'm like, okay, now I understand how we sort of got there, but that reveal was not as clear as you would have thought that it was. This will probably end up as a 3-star. Will I pick up other Naomi Novik books? I don't know. I'm not gonna go out of my way to pick them up, but if they end up on a Goodreads Choice Awards list, I might. Now I'm going to go change, get my run in, and hopefully on my run I'll be able to finish Cursed. I keep wanting to say Gilded, but Cursed, because I have just a little bit over an hour left of that. I'll come on and update about that then. The next audiobooks that I'm going to get to are the next 2 books in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. That will bring me up to book 7, I believe, and I'll still need to get book 8 and book 9, the ones that are on the list, to be able to finish. So, not so sure if I'm going to be able to finish those, but I will be able to finish the other 2 lists. I'll finish Young Adult with Cursed, and then I just have the Atlas 6 left for the adult list, and I will probably read that tomorrow, and then I'll be done. Okay, I'm gonna do one last update from the beach. So I'm trying to think. So the book I read today was Atlas 6, and let's just say I was not impressed. There were hints of things that could have worked, but the fact that the perspectives were split up between the 6 candidates plus other people whenever it was convenient, nothing ever really came together for me, and I have no idea why people like this story so much. Nothing impressed me about this. Was it terrible? No. But was it good? Also no. I was thinking that that was going to be my last book for while I was at the beach, but thankfully I remembered when I was packing up my stuff that I brought Dawnshard with me, and I needed to read that before I got to Rhythm of War, which I don't know why I brought Rhythm of War with me, because obviously I wasn't going to get to that, but that means that that'll be my book for next week. But I just finished Dawnshard, and I loved it. I loved it even more than Edge Dancer, I think. The stuff that it sets up in here, obviously can't talk about because it's 3.5 in the Stormlight Archive series and so much preceded in the Cosmere, whatever I'm trying to say with that. So I can't really talk about stuff from here, but I really like what Sanderson set up in this book. And also, Lopin was one of the characters in here. I just love Lopin as a character, so I like that we got more screen time for Lopin in this. But I just finished this. It's a novella, but it's almost 300 pages. Granted, if this were a taller book, see, like, it's only a portion of my face. If this were a taller book, it wouldn't be as long, but still longer than a normal novella. But I read that tonight, and now I'm going to go cross stitch, and I'm going to finish Nightfall, which is book 6, I think, in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. So much continues to happen in these series that I'm engaged with the story, but books 5 and 6 haven't reached the height that we got with book 4, which I absolutely loved. So I'm hoping that that's gonna come maybe in this concluding part for book 6, in book 7, 8, 9. I get that that's something that's gonna happen in a longer series, especially with the books as long as they are. So I'm enjoying it, but I think it's probably gonna be around a 4-star, not a 4.5 star. So the next time you see me, I will be back home, and I have plans for tomorrow afternoon, but I can't even remember what they are right now. Okay, so I am back home. We had a near scare on the way back where something weird went on with the car, and we thought we might be stuck like 30 minutes outside of Hilton Head, which is several hours from home, but it was some weird computer thing with the car. There's so much technology in cars now. I sound like an old person. Anyway, back home, I got my run in, and I have this urge to clean up and organize things because I'm gonna show you the state of my room. So, I mean, if I just show you that part, doesn't look too bad. Down here, we have things getting ready for filming. I've got to do a Goodreads wrap up. That's why these books are there. I also need to return them to the library. Getting ready to finish filming my physical TBR, all the last books for that. But then the real mess comes as we get over here. Yes, those are all clean. However, that's all the stuff that I had to take out of the closets. I also want to start getting this organized. I have some ideas. I am going to take my Harry Potter shelf and put it here in this center area and make the sides my TBR shelves. I think that will work a lot better. And then over here, what I might do, I'm not 100% certain, but what I might do is bring over my nonfiction to put it with the classics. To get all of the clothes off the floor, I have to, coming back, I have to show you something else. I have to assemble my new closet. That's my portable closet right there. It came before I went, like the day I left, but there's other stuff that I have to unbox here. Most of that, I believe, is for me. And I don't think most of it is, some of it is books. Like the Owl Crate one you'll see in my unboxing. That one won't add, wow, fly away hairs. That one will not add to my TBR because it's a special edition that I am so excited about, but more on that in that video. Now I'm gonna go film, but it's really annoying that I have these flyaway hairs. Anyway, I'm gonna go film and start cleaning stuff up. As far as a reading update goes, I'm about halfway through Flashback. These books are so long. I can't believe they're middle grade. But I am definitely enjoying the story and the way that Shannon Messenger is still building it. I don't know how she has this much to tell, but it hasn't tripped over itself yet. Okay, so it is much later at night and improvements have been made. First, I'll show you where all the boxes were. The boxes are no longer there. Yes, that is my Japanese snack box. Not sure why I have left it on the floor. However, I'm going to be digging into the tomorrow, probably, and maybe Monday. My mom and I have decided to shift our long run to Monday instead of tomorrow, even though it would have been fun to say I ran 20 miles on Christmas Day. Yes, 20 miles. Okay. But it just works out better logistically. Here's the big deal. So I'm gonna take you over to the library. This first part, still a bit of a mess. I have stacks of books there. So this stack right here is TBR stuff that I'm not putting over there yet. The other stack, the tall stack next to it right here, is the adult fantasy for when I do my Goodreads wrap up. The middle stack that you can't really see is the young adult fantasy, and then the far stack right there is the middle grades and children. So those are all planned. Beyond that, those stacks are TBRs. Now, I'm going to move those tomorrow. I promise. I'm planning. I don't know why I said promise. You'll remember, this area was a bit of a mess. Now, the floor is clean. We've got the clothes here. That's dirty clothes there. I just realized I need a place to put that. Tomorrow, the plan is going to be to work on these shelves, to plan that out. I will probably include that in this vlog. Actually, I just said that that's the plan for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas. Yeah, so part of tomorrow will be rearranging this. I don't know how much, because I might stay out at my mom and stepdad's, not sure. The big thing that we did tonight, and that I have my stepdad to thank for all his help, is one of those boxes that was over there was the closet. We now have, what am I talking about? I now have a fully set up mobile closet, and the lighting's probably not all that great in here because I'm in the little hallway, but here is my new closet. So there we go. It took a little while to set it up. And my stepdad asked if this was all my clothes, and I said yes. This is practically all my clothes, except for what you saw on the chair over there. But I think I'm going to put all of my travel stuff down in that bottom compartment, and then I may take out some of these items here and store them on the shelves, depending on how I rearrange things. But yes, I'm a minimalist when it comes to clothes. When it comes to books, however, I am not. And no, these are not my books. They've been here for decades, probably. So there we go. I am going to drink my coffee. I'm going to try to finish Arcanum Unbounded today so I can finish a book today. The plan for tomorrow, I think, as far as reading goes, is starting Rhythm of War. I'm not 100% certain, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we have reached Sunday evening. My plan is to work on organizing stuff in here. I've gotten some stuff cleaned up, but got some stuff organized, and now I want to do that with the books. I realize when I say Sunday evening, I should also say that it's the evening of Christmas. So the plan is I'm gonna set you up somewhere where you can see what I'm going to do, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start with taking all of these books off and putting them on that center shelf there. See how many shelves it takes up. It probably, all of these, so I just have 4 shelves worth. All of these will probably take up only about 3 of those, because this is a lot longer. But so the plan is take all the Funko Pop stuff off. I know the lighting's terrible. Okay, so lighting should be better now. Take all the Funko Pop stuff off, start putting that on there, and then start putting the physical TBR stuff on either side. Next week, my stepdad is gonna come over and we're gonna get this one done. I will have a bunch more shelf space here. And do I want to go out and buy a whole bunch more books just to fill it up? Yes, but I will restrain myself. I will practice restraint. And so that'll be the evening. I am listening to, not currently, I paused it. I'm listening to Flashback, which is book 7 in the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. Once I finish this, I will start listening to Assassin's Fate, which is the last book in the Realm of the Elderlings. The plan for audiobooks is finish this one, Assassin's Fate, and then also Two Towers to meet that other prompt that I had for one of the readathons. Here we go.
I've been out of my head, can't get out of bed. Too much on my brain, but got it good, can't complain. It's like I'm losing my mind, and time's hard to find. What's a girl gotta do to catch a break up? When life tries to test me, I take it one day at a time. Yesterday, but look at me today. It has been so long since I wrote a sad song. Sunshine on my face, I'm feeling okay. Nothing's in my way. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I put a dress on today, I don't care what you say. And I'm ignoring my phone, so don't try to reach me. I can't do nothing for you, so don't ask, I ain't coming through. Cause I'm running away to my own world, that's where I'll stay. Yeah. When life tries to test me, I take it one day at a time. Cause I was crying yesterday, but look at me today. It has been so long since I wrote a sad song. Sunshine on my face, how to live life with a smile on my face. Nothing ever stays the same. There's always room for better days. I was crying yesterday, but look at me now, 'cause I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Say I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so as you just saw in the B-roll, I have set up the closet bookshelves and I'm so excited about it. I love how it looks. And I have started the process of rearranging what's on what bookshelf. So I've put my nonfiction right here on this one. However, I still have a row of nonfiction over on the other bookshelf because that bookshelf, even though it's, you know, one is wider than these, so I won't be able to get that nonfiction over onto this bookshelf. Probably what's going to happen is nonfiction is going to extend over here on these shelves, or perhaps over here behind you onto these shelves, because it quote unquote feels like I'm running out of space, but I'm not. I just want to keep everything together organization wise. I'm going to stop the vlog here. I'm still going to be doing shelf stuff just because I can't help it. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be arranging these two shelves. I'm trying to point this and that one. So I'm not 100% certain. Right now they're by genre and also an age group. I might just switch it over into age group. So what I'm thinking is, I think I'm gonna have this shelf where all my nonfictions were. I'm gonna have that be adult fantasy. And I'm gonna have a dedicated shelf for Hobb, and I'm gonna have a dedicated shelf for Sanderson. And probably that means that what I'll do is I'm going to extend my Lord of the Rings shelf up one. Oh yes, the nonfiction is adult fantasy, and then that one right there, young adult fantasy and or sci-fi on that side. And then for now, I'll leave all the middle grade stuff on this one right here. So middle grade and some of my adult fiction, my smaller number of adult fiction. I'm gonna real quick go over how I arrange things in this shelf over here. I'm gonna give an update, and then I'm gonna close out this vlog, which was a combination at the beach and bookshelf / library rearranging vlog. Obviously right here we've got all the Harry Potter stuff. I still have my little mini Funko Pops that I'm going to put somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure. I left this shelf blank because I still plan to expand this collection because there's a few more different types that I want to get. So then that leads to everything else on these shelves is TBR. So I love this little mini book of the month shelf that I have going. As I get more, I'm going to add them on there. I might even have just a book of the month section for my read books, because I have plans for more book of the month books, like add-ons that I've already read. But anyway, so I try to keep all the book box books together in various forms. So here's all of the comic stuff, TBR, random assortments here. Then we've got the Coffee and Book Club books. We've got Goldsboro, SFF, plus some others here. And these are all Owl Crate down here. When we come over here, we've got a few more. I kept all of my series and project books that I want to start here. I haven't filmed those videos yet, my 23 and etc. And some ideas that I have. Then I tried to keep all of the series together here, and then these were just some miscellaneous. Down here, we've got all my books in Spanish that I haven't read yet. These are the fiction books that I got from the really big, really cheap book sale, and these are the nonfiction that I got from that sale. So I am really excited about that. I'm also super excited about being able to have all of that space over here, which is currently just empty. But my stepdad, I think, has the wood, and he's going to be working on that this coming Saturday. And probably nothing will go over there for now. That might be just where I extend the TBR books, because I have plans for that. So I'm gonna wrap up what I've read and then get back to reading and more bookshelf organizations, because once I get started on something, I just want to finish it, you know? So this week, I started this book last week, finished it this week, finished the Atlas 6, finished the Golden Enclaves. I've started Rhythm of War. I'm only 100 pages into that, so I'm only at like 8% into the book. Audiobook wise, so I finished Cursed by Marissa Meyer. That was the first thing on the way down to the beach. Then I read Nightfall, and literally just before filming this update, finished Flashback. So things are getting so complicated. These books are so big. But anyway, I will be reading the 8th book, which I don't remember the name of, on ebook, and then I don't know when I'm getting Stellar Loom. So these are the books that I read in this short vlog, which quite a large number of pages here. Sorry for the shaking. This disc is not all that steady, but not too shabby for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days. So here we go. 5 books in 5 days. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.